in your new Earth from.
Mm.
You
And
remember
that's
that, Greg?
crazy. Yep. And you know what's crazy? They showed you that at the end of the movie Greenland Part Two. They showed you it. Everything that you just seen, like I kid you not, everything that you just said, Rod, it's at the end of the Greenland movie. It shows you the new heaven and new earth because I guess those intrinsic neutrinos that was coming to the planet, it was revitalizing the whole infrastructure. Everything had like different greenery. You know what I'm saying? The water there was basically like the elixir to life and all types of stuff. And I remember it was another slide that you had sent me that basically correlates with that because you were saying something about Three Eye Atlas was revitalizing the waters.
Yeah.
Well, this because it's coming into a bioluminescent energy, and on this one it says the Atlas releases a focused energy pulse that revives dead coral reefs within minutes, leaving marine scientists stunned by the speed and the scale of recovery.
Right. So what it does, you remember in Doctor Strange when he had the apple sitting on the table and he turned the time dial back and the apple was whole and he turned it back forward all the way till it was so decayed.
I don't remember. I gotta watch it again.
In the movie Doctor Strange,
Mm.
when he was experimenting with that thing on his neck with the eye
Yeah,
that
yeah.
that turned back time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what Three Eye Atlas appears to be doing to the coral,
Mm.
turning it back to its most healthiest point in its history, and it's resetting it right there,
Mm.
which looks almost instant because it's the technology, the same thing that Doctor Strange is showing you in the what's that DC movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's Doctor Strange. You see it.
Mm. And I wonder if that correlates. It was an article that came out during the time when we was in the pandemic, and it was an article that came out, and it said that a lot of the starfish were destroying a lot of the synthetic coral reefs, and it was causing a manipulation in climate change, basically. So I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
Remember, they clean in the atmosphere, the ozone, and they clean
Mm-hmm.
in the oceans. 90% of our atmosphere is moisture, water, vapor.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, they catching both ends of the vapor, the source, the waters of the earth, and then the destination on evaporation in the upper atmosphere.
Mm.
So if you stabilize both of those, you stabilize everything in the middle of it,
Right.
right? So we call it a rebalancing of the atmospheric pressure.
Mm. Raising up
But
a
you have
degree.
to also address the oceans when you address the atmosphere. What this one say?
It says Atlas spacecraft begins carefully dismantling an asteroid near Earth, showcasing extraordinary precision and resource extraction.
Okay, now, let's say for instance, Big Mama going out of town, y'all had a big old party, and everybody left trash all over the yard. This is the uncles cleaning up the yard around Mama house before Mama let everybody know she home. These, this is what you call recycling matter by breaking it down into its energy form.
Mm-hmm.
And then along the way, it'll release different minerals and stuff that make up the solid object.
Mm.
Futuristic mining.
So it's kind of like the same concept as the Great Purification period.
Yep.
So it's really going through a purification state. So meaning that everything is going back into 0 point energy, a reset,
Yeah,
a
with
recalibration
energy
state.
about to be free again, we just learned how to measure it, focus it, so that we can charge for it. That's all humans did. But energy used to be free in Atlantis.
Yep.
Every human got a right to the resources of the planet if any human have a right to the resources of the planet. If we restrict the resources for some in favor of the others, we not truly are the earthborn. because we're supposed to be free to give as we is free to receive. That's called reciprocity.
Yep.
The law of reciprocity is a building block between people because reciprocal energy is what you call circulating the bandwidth between the two. Gratitude expands the bandwidth to be grateful for what somebody else give you and to be freely willing to return just the same or greater. And this is where the law of equivalent exchange and alchemy is being used to maximize the return of what you put out. Right? So when you start on the journey, you have to, as the food journey, you give up everything you love in order to come out as the hero in the hero's journey. So we talking moon magic, lunar magic, which governs the tarot. Moon magic is the magic that the colonizing Europeans was able to assimilate because they couldn't assimilate solar magic. Because you need the gold elixir.
Yep.
If you can't assimilate solar magic and you can only assimilate silver magic, you're going to start to deteriorate because you have what's called an inefficient exchange of energy with the surrounding environment.
Stephen
And
Hawking.
you're going to be the one suffering. It's going to suck the life out of you. Stephen Hawkins.
Yep. Like you told me, shriveled up.
Yep. Too much mental energy and not enough spiritual insight cause the intellect to deteriorate the physical form, trying to establish enough energy to break the gold elixir through the sulfuric barrier in the spinal channel. So the body starts to short circuit. The nerves begin to die. Then you begin to wither up.
Yeah,
But the brain's still functioning at a high capacity.
Yeah, I'm not producing enough neurofibers to, create the symbiotic connection of the corpus callosum. So he just one-sided left brain.
But look, he had got so good, left-brained it, that even his highest reason came to the conclusion that there had to be a creator of all this because of the organizational structure of matter, the grid system that holds matter together, the way that we use light to build matter from atoms, right? There had to be a design. They had to have a less than universal mind. In other words, it's a secondary thought process behind the original process of thought. So the great mother, the Omega mother, transmits to the Alpha Sun what we call the infinite light. Right? The black sun. The black sun doesn't radiate gold. It radiates purple. And it makes the white appear purple under the black light. The black sun. Right? It's the neon effect.
Yep.
Which causes your inner glow to become luminescent, to be seen by those with an eye to see, and your voice to be heard by the ones who have the ear to hear, in order to resurrect the blind, deaf, and dumb from the wilderness of North America and set the captives free. Right? They done killed enough of our prophets and no longer will we sit by. Right? So we had to find a strategy and the means to protect the great minds that came to liberate us when the enemy began to collapse down on them. We have an alternative plan. They got an extraction model and we got an extraction model. If they can do it, we can do it. Turnabout fair play. They masquerading and pretending to be us and we being laughed at because we know they ain't us.
Facts.
Right? And that go for $5 Indians, the $2.50 version, all of them.
Yep. And I'm glad you said that because Greenland is actually the head of Turtle Island, which is the crown chakra of planet Earth. Yep. So that kind
If
of
nothing else, it's the crown chakra of this land.
Yep.
Because you can't have a crown chakra without a head.
Exactly. Because all of it was connected together. Because I believe they would say that there's a lot of intrinsic raw materials in Greenland because it was connected to Hyperborea and the Atlantean energy grid system. So that's where a lot of the free energy came from. So you got a lot
Listen,
of the copper and the gold and the graphite, the nickel and the rare earth, titanium, vanadium, and zinc. You got all those metals and stuff over there in that landmass, which was connected to America at one point in
okay,
time.
now I got to go back to something. You said Hyperborea.
Mm-hmm.
Break the word down. It's a compound word, and give me the definition of both sides of the word.
You said break it down.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on.
Because all this is telling you is that they Atlanteans, by the way.
All right. So hyper is kind of like the prefix of the word. It means beyond or above, and
Mm-hmm.
then the root word of it comes from the Arctic region, north wind, and the suffix of the word. Let me see. Thought I put it in here. And then Borea, yeah. Borea, yeah. So it basically means beyond the north wind.
Mm-hmm. Roboria means light.
Or the
The same
golden.
word. It's the same word as the Borealia Aurelis,
Yep.
the northern lights. So when they
Yep.
talk about Hyperborea, they talking about. Remember where Loki came from?
He came from Asgard, right?
The land of the ice giants.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Loki was the rightful heir on the male side, the ruler right. But the right was given to Thor. Thor was Enlil's son,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now remember, the mother of Loki, she was the princess or the queen of the ice giants,
Mm.
right? So now we talking about the northern hemisphere where everything is frozen.
Mm-hmm.
The queen of the north,
That's a that's
Europa.
a that's a movie. I ain't the Queen. I could have swore that's a Queen of the North is a movie. Damn.
Yeah, the queen of the north, depending on where you orient it from. But the
Mm-hmm.
queen of the north, if let's say it's the ice princess who becomes the queen of the north. The ice princess is called Isis,
Mm. That's
right?
crazy how everything comes together like that.
Princess
Yeah, I didn't know.
Isis,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when she's a Mississippian, she's Miss Isis standing on pie.
Mm.
Miss Pippi.
Mm. Pippi
As in,
Longstocking.
yep. The
Pippi
long
Longstocking.
stocking is
That's
actually the
crazy.
Louisiana boot.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy how
You,
everything comes full circle
you
like
gotta
that.
remember, we have to figure it out. They just gotta put it in the public,
Right.
right?
Wow.
So when you realize that the long stocking is the Louisiana boot, well, where's the other stocking at? The Florida
Right.
Panhandle.
Damn.
It's upside down.
Damn. So the land of the gods is actually disfigured. So as far as the activation of the seven thunders is what's going to put everything right back in its proper place, basically.
And seven thunders is the seven dragons or masters that come forth to speak,
Mm.
but they concealed in the mysteries as just seven thunders. But when you go to the reference, you use where they deriving these references. And his voice was as many thunders,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this is how you know they're talking about somebody speaking. And it's another term to say the voice of many waters, right? Which also it signified like a dam break, a booming voice of the blue house versus the booming voice of the red house. One's water, one's fire,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you put them together, the boot that is Louisiana is a 6, and the sock that is the upside down
It's a 7.
7,
13.
67, 13. 13 is the
Wow.
queen mother seal. Empress was born in 67.
Damn. Hey man, that boy be cold cracking, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy how everything go full circle like that, man.
Yeah. So she'd already did what she's supposed to do. She'd already sat in the sacerdotal seat. She
Right.
already called Philadelphia back online as the seat of tribal government for the matriarchs. Remember, they meet at Congress Hall. Congress Hall meaning meeting the mayors. Mayors are
Right.
female horses, which is town mothers.
Mm.
So the sometime after she make her announcement, the tribal mothers is going to have a gathering in Philadelphia Congress Hall in order for us to start putting our stuff back together. All of the tribal mothers, just like for instance, Chief Warhorse, be called. Then you have people with communities like Louisa Taish from New Orleans. She had, there'll be guests of honor.
Mm.
Um, Winnie Hoover, um, Jeff Ford daughter, Amina Ford,
Mm-hmm.
right? They'll all have to go meet there as a unified collective and reclaiming everything. But the initial spearhead was already done when Empress Redbird sat there. That's called pulling rank,
Mm.
right? The security guard wanted to stop her, but for some reason he couldn't find himself able to stop her. That's the spirit working on his ass.
Divine intervention.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Yep.
that's and everybody in the chat. That's Rod Hayes' Cash App in the chat for everybody who's wondering what that is. That's his Cash App in the chat. And and I came across this today too as well, Rod. I think I sent this to you also. It says if white men became the minority, we will be slaughtered. Remember, if non-whites openly hate white men while white men hold a collective majority, then they will be 1,000 times more hostile and cruel when they were a majority over whites. White solidarity is the only way to survive. So what you think about that?
It's race bait.
Right,
But really what it is that's the same grievance that we had 200 years ago.
right,
You got to see everything going out that you seen coming in, but it's going to be reversed upside down and backwards. When you see it and you acknowledge it, you flip out of that particular loop. As long as we don't give it emotional energy, we don't have to keep going through the BS.
right.
When you get charged up and emotional and feel some type of way, then it perpetuates the energy because the universe can't get rid of it because we ain't done using it yet. It's the same with your manifestation. It can't manifest because you can't keep watching the water boil.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the universe know you still looking at the water waiting on the boil. The universe say, well, hell, I can't heat it up until you get your eyes off of it.
Right.
Right? And so you finally look this way for a second, look back, and you didn't even see it boiling. It's boiling like a rage.
Heck
Now,
yeah.
this is critical right here. And this
Right.
goes
Yep.
to we don't care about as much about what it is as we do about what does it mean. Do you remember the last time a contingent of Buddhist monks came over here to make a pilgrimage and do a walk? Do you remember what that was? 90% of us have no clue.
Nope. I don't know. I probably wasn't even born during that time if they did do it, another time.
You were born.
Really?
Time my way.
Okay.
The Dalai Lama had a whole group of Buddhists went to Tamaray for the procession of Osiris that was being done by Dr. York.
Wow. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they got pictures to prove it, so if anybody think I'm making it up, you probably can Google the picture. Buddhist monks in Tamaray. Now, they come back again. That's the herald of the close of a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
They put the timestamp down the first trip to Eatonton, Georgia, to walk in the procession of Osiris with Malachi York. Now, as we wrap everything up, they come and make their presence known and drawing attention to their presence by making a national walk. Right? They don't even have to be real Buddhist monks. They can be what's called ceremonial Buddhist monks, meaning that they ain't the real monks. They just the ones who do the outside work of the monks.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so the real monks might sit in the monastery meditating, and they walking as they proxy, so they don't have to leave the temple.
Right.
Right now, in another 10, 15 years, some of them guys just walking as ceremonial monks might become initiated to a full-fledged monk, and then he won't leave the monastery no more.
Right.
But the blatant, open walk that they're taking is for something. It's to bring attention to something. Look at the color code, orange and red. Those are fire colors. The year of the fire horse.
Wow.
They telling us something. The solar flares that's coming out is phenomenal. Right? That's the gold energy feeding the earth. Right now, the earth gets to tell Jupiter what gifts it needs in order to be replenished, and 3i Atlas can serve as the facilitation network.
Yep.
Now, we don't know if 3i Atlas is real or not. I believe it's just used as a medium to deliver the codes for us to follow a particular stream of information in order to make the disclosure more palatable.
Mm-hmm.
And then in order to downplay the level of our technology.
And also, from my perspective, I was also looking at it as a severe warning. Also, because that solar eclipse that went through 9 cities called Nineveh in 2024, and then it went through 7 cities called Salem in 2023, which means peace. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well, because I believe that there's a significance in the connection with the monks, walking across America, and and especially during the time when you look at the political infrastructure right now, everything's pretty much in chaos. So yeah, and then
So look, this is the close of the old, the dawning of the new. We're going into Aquarius. We have to close out Pisces. Whose job is it to close it out?
Us, the collective.
Right, specifically, who's supposed to be doing what to close out the old age and bring in the new? Who ain't never asked that question? Everybody waiting on somebody else to do it.
Right.
Right. While we all waiting on somebody else to do it, we might be the ones supposed to be getting it done.
Exactly.
Right. So this is what we do. The ones who don't know what to do, stay out of the way of the ones doing what need to be done, and watch us work. Because we've been putting in the work. We were studying for personal development purposes for whatever measure. We didn't know we was gonna see the problem being unfolded before our face.
Facts.
Now we get to tell y'all who wasn't in the books like me and B-Dale and some of the others, who wasn't studying fringe theories of science and metaphysics, quantum physics, sorcery, and witchcraft, right? We trying to figure out what the hell going on. We can't bring balance back to something if we don't know what the cause of the imbalance is.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to investigate it, and your plan got to be workable everywhere, straight out of the holy tablets. A plan that's truly workable anywhere is truly workable everywhere. For if a plan is not workable everywhere, it's not truly workable anywhere. It's a principle of leadership.
Hold on, you mute, Rod. Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
So what we got here?
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's some other stuff that I came across today that I thought it was pretty interesting. And it's talking about a new 9/11 is coming any day from hundreds of Al Qaeda sleeper agents ready to unleash carnage in the UK, says ex MI6 spy.
Okay, now remember, I kept telling everybody there's a lot of sleepers across the land right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now they telling you the same thing I was telling you, but now they gotta blame somebody else. They not Al Qaeda is a CIA organization. We forget that. The Mujahideen was funded by the United States, armed by the United States, and the Mujahideen is the ones who seated the government called Al Qaeda. Right? That was the Bin Laden group.
Mm-hmm.
That was the CIA formation. So if they over here, they were CIA operatives to get over here. Right? Or they in the UK in this particular man. It might have been MI5, MI6, but they was all involved. Right? We remember when the Iran-Contra blew up, the United States was arming Iran to fight Iraq. But they was also courting Afghanistan as an ally, and Russia was trying to come over the mountains, and the Mujahideen, who was being led by Osama bin Laden at the time, was being financed and armed by the U.S. military under Ronald Reagan. Right? A lot of us don't remember that, and we don't know that. So when they start telling us about ISIS as a terrorist group in the Middle East, Obama made them. That's
Right.
Obama team.
Right.
That's their team of assassins. That's who they do. Right. That's why he had the American military bombing our allies to protect ISIS interests over there in the Middle East. That don't make sense. You don't bomb your allies. You know, so it was a lot of stuff going on, but while it was going on, nobody understood what it meant because we was taught to look at small pieces of information bit by bit and not look at the big picture of what's playing out in front of us.
So that's pretty much all the slides I got, Rod. You wanna ask some questions from the we're gonna get into some questions.
Yeah, let's do about 4 or 5 questions from the crowd.
Yeah, cause we way past the
Go ahead.
You know, we chopping it up. We just chopping it up.
Okay, I didn't know if it because you know what I'm saying. I try to be respectful of other people's time, so I was just making sure you good.
Yeah, we take about 4 or 5 questions. That'll make it that'll satisfy the custom the chat base.
Okay. What does it say? Yeah, it says, "Yo, Rod, this is from a dream. I astral projected in my dream and saw a ball of energy that was nothing and something at the same time."
So those balls of energy, you can give them instructions to go bring you back information to capture frequencies of something that you want to manifest in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They there like to carry information. Like you give them instructions to get information for you, or a frequency of energy. You want to be more charismatic. You find somebody in history. You want that level of charisma, and you say, "Go find that charisma and bring it back to me," and it bring it back to you literally. I use the orb. The orb is the truth.
Mm. Mm.
It's easier to teach children to use them though.
I can answer this too. A monad is also kind of like the representation of a god, or just like when you look at the two clock, when you look at the arms of a clock, the monad is actually in the middle, which is also a representation of a neutron. So it's kind of like the god source, basically. From an esoteric standpoint. What you think about that?
Yeah, so it's generally referred to as a single point of energy.
Mm-hmm.
When it's separated, it becomes a duad,
Mm-hmm.
giving birth to duality.
Mm-hmm.
But in
So
the
it's kind
monad, they exist together.
mm-hmm. So it's kind of like the splitting of the photon, hydrogen, and atom. So
Yep.
therefore, you get the electron and the you get the electron and the proton in together, and that's what the same thing, pretty much. So let me see. Salute to New Diamonds. We're gonna get it. It says, what do you think about us being in alignment with the Milky Way and Sirius right now? Feels like a gateway is open.
Yeah, the gateway is actually on its way closed because we went through it with the Maherta.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we went through the Maherta?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. That's when we was going through the center alignment where Earth was in the direct line of sight to the core center of the universe,
Mm.
at the galactic center, in
Yep,
order to get the new codes for the upgrades.
that's a fact.
So now we going through the phases where we closing that out. We coming out of that alignment. Now we are in the real time implementing the codes that the Earth picked up from Prime Source when we went through the Maherta.
All right, we get another question in. Shout out to Zay Chosen X. What are your thoughts on the spiritual network that we're all connected to that allows us to have an experience, and also the grid that they're trying to attach us through nanotechnology and foods?
The spiritual connection is all mental. The universal mind is what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
We are all expressions of the universal mind, but we use these vessels as like what do you call the things you use in the lab? Beakers.
Beakers.
Yeah, we use these vessels like beakers in order for universal mind to experience first person perspective as the self, as the individual that's experiencing it through. So
Mm.
that's why they say that we are creation experiencing itself because we are. The
Mm-hmm.
three dimensions is just another level of frequency modification. We use the earth realm as a true school for God force energy, right? So when we at our brightest, we are star.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't learn to balance our energy out, we go supernova,
Mm.
right? If we get too caught up in our own shit, then we collapse into a dwarf star.
Mm. Crashing
So
out.
we come into Earth, we learn how to find our balance using the dual system, the balance of duality, the duad, in order to be our own monad in our own point zero creation model, right? So we come and get an accelerated learning curve, learning course by living a couple hundred years on Earth. It's able to teach you enough where you can balance your star self into a long distance as a more evenly burning star. Because
Mm-hmm.
all it is the massive energy exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
that
also,
massive energy exchange gives you what appears to be the heat and the light.
And they also they use that nanotechnology. It's a form of psychotronic technology. So as Rob was saying, when you get back to that galactic center, it can also cause a lot of neurological misfires to where it puts you in a state of zombification. So that's why a lot of times, a lot of people get caught up into that because, the Food and Drug Administration, they got all that technology and they using the smart dust particles. And then they got that motherfucking radiation fog, that MQ9 nano reaper drone technology.
You know
Kind
that
of,
radiation fog is that's the cloak of the ships.
really,
The radioactive fog. It's the cloak of the ship. The ships is not from Earth.
right.
So the stuff that they spray up to cloak it, it has radioactive qualities on Earth.
Mm,
But it just make what look like a big old cloud in the sky. The only way you know it's different is because it's radioactive.
right.
When it fall to the ground, it look like fog. Whereas a regular cloud come to the ground, it normally comes down as precipitation. But remember, fog is a cloud on the ground anyway because it's rapid evaporation to the point that it creates the cloud effect in the lower atmosphere.
hmm Let me get to another question. Salute to Margot Mangrum. Gratitude. What should we do as individuals and the collective to take advantage of the 11 111 portal, I believe tomorrow. 111 portal.
Everybody got their own instincts on what they should or should not be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Follow your instincts, follow your gut, follow your spirit, follow your practice. As long as you're doing your best at being yourself and you're doing your stuff according to your own terms, you got to spell out the terms. When you do that, it's more powerful in your life than if you use somebody else's terms and conditions. So if you want to use it as a manifestation portal, you got to manifest it because it's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you want to change your life by going down a different timeline, you have to do it your way in order to maximize the return on whatever it is you do through the portal opening.
Mm-hmm. And it's really that 111 is really a three because three is also a representation of manifestation, which is the mind. So
Mm-hmm.
so I guess you can use it, just based on numerology, use it in the form of manifestation, you know, whatever you're trying to attract in your reality.
And the
Doing
two
that.
is, and the three is also a two-ball game.
Why? What's that? What's a
The
two
two
ball
ball
game?
two ball game is just an ancient game, an old
Okay.
Egyptian game, where you have what look like you know the walking canes we have now.
Yeah.
The walking cane comes from the game called two ball cane.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I know
it's
that.
also used in masonry as a discussions of tools of teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So the one in the middle is the straight bump. That's the cane. Then you got one son on the left, one son on the right. You got to be able to bump them both off the straight bump and make them bump
Right.
back.
Mm.
Right. So it's the two ball cane. It's a form of like hockey. The
I
two
forgot. It's
parts.
another game they used to do. I don't know if it's rugby. They used to be on the horse and they hitting the ball.
Yeah,
I
polo.
thought, yeah. I thought that was kind of like. Is that kind of like the same thing, but they just on horses?
No, that's polo. Polo is a different game. But they did have a game like two ball cane they played on horseback too.
Mm.
But it looked like they got a long hockey stick instead of a hammer for polo.
Mm.
Then they had a game called Senate, was a board game they used to play, like chess.
And then we got Erin, the Virgo. She says, "Can we miss out on a portal being open? What if we did? And how do we know if we did?"
You can only miss out on something that was meant for you that you overlooked. You can't miss out on that if you wasn't supposed to be doing that.
Exactly.
Stop looking from the victim position because that's what they taught us. We think we're gonna miss something. No, it wasn't your time to do something. and you're waiting your time to receive something at that particular portal. When the portal that you're supposed to catch comes, you're gonna know the time, you're gonna know how to do whatever it is you need to do to manifest whatever you're trying to manifest on that portal. Otherwise, it wasn't your portal to catch. It's just like trying to catch a train and just standing on the bus stop or the train stop. You can't catch the train that ain't came yet.
Right.
And then you can't get on the wrong train. You can only get on the train going to your destination.
Exactly. And
So
then we
you stand on
got
the platform and wait for your train. You know when the board, you know the directions.
Jet Life, Django 5110. What is the deal with this supposed dragon in Venezuela?
Um, be it true or not, it's the descriptive analogy of a very high profile individual, either way you look at it. Whether it's a real dragon or whether it's a dragon in code only, it will still make reference to a VIP,
Mm.
right? So it could be a chief that they trying to force to do business with him that they referring to as the dragon in Venezuela,
Mm.
right? So you gotta always remember when you see dragon, automatically translated first as master, and think of somebody with a powerful oratory and a strong presence. He is the dragon, right? Unless he a lion, suave appearance with a smooth roar, a light skinned lion. But the term used for master being a dragon comes from the Nagas kings. The reason they use the term dragon is because the dragon is a giant serpent.
Right.
All of the chiefs that have the Sakomao know to follow the wisdom because the wisdom comes in the form of the serpent. So when you look at Tupac Amaru, meaning the wise serpent thankful to God, right? We talking about a warrior energy, and he's gonna be doing what's called a war dance. But the war dance is passed off as concerts and hip hop in the modern time. You don't have to go perform for the local tribes to get the tribe to see you. Now you can just put it on TV,
Mm.
right? I don't have to give public notice in the newspaper. I could just get on social media and my presence is automatically noticed. The agent is noticed the principal.
Mm-hmm.
It's automatically recognized no matter what platform we're on as a public notice as the chief on the link. The government know this. They just hope that our people don't never recognize that we back for everything they owe. And it just so happened they owe us everything.
And salute to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the Baba Rod Hayes' cash app. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit his cash app because he is giving y'all some, some next level information as he always does. Salute to Rod Hayes with that. We're gonna get one more question in. Let me see. Ain't no question. Okay. From Voice Art with Zay, Empress Rarebird is the one who have the National Guard activated to remove the deep state alphabet groups and other invaders. Correct, Rod?
Yeah, they already started arresting the judges,
Yep.
right? So, matter of fact, I'm assuming this receipt. We got to show this receipt, and then we can go from there where you want to.
Okay. I had a video I put on one of my transmissions maybe about a few days no maybe about 2 months ago, which I showed the arrest of a lot of the judges. They was getting carried out
Look
from
at
the
this
Capitol
picture.
building. All right, let's see. All right,
You go
damn.
to the YouTube channel that's on and look and get the video report.
You want to pull the video up or you want the picture
Oh,
up?
no, I was letting the people that's watching know that when you show this image, that they
Uh
can actually go to that YouTube video and listen to what took
okay.
place.
All right, I'm about to airdrop it to myself real quick.
The National Guard is already active. They already stationed. They, we don't really want them to have to be used.
Right.
The deep state is agitating. That's why they hired that lady to get herself killed.
Hold on for a
And
second. Sure.
you know what I'm talking about, don't you? The one that the ICE agent shot.
Yeah, she was a
Right.
psyop agent.
She was a paid protester. What did that mean? She was paid to instigate civil unrest,
Mm-hmm.
right? Enough to get herself shot.
Right.
She had to fuck around and find out.
All right,
Play
here we go.
stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Facts. All right, let me go. Yeah, FBI arrests 12 sitting judges who took millions in bribes by Sonora cartel. Bet the liberal news stations won't be discussing this big win for America. Yep.
Hey, look, you see where it's saying that there was 12 sitting judges that took bribes from the Sinaloa cartel.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I was telling you, and I was also mentioning this on I think the last Young Elder that, and last night with Forburn. They had to cut the money supply off to make the motherfuckers um they can't pay their private security
Right.
because all their bank accounts is already frozen. So they was using the hard cash that was imported from Venezuela through the cartels. And remember, Zelensky gave them the folder with all of the U.S. dirty players that's running the Venezuelan operation for the cartels. So they got the whole family tree of all of the judges, police officers, police captains, sheriff deputies, sheriffs across the country that's participating in the network. Because remember, just like we have a CIA, Venezuela also had an intelligence agency.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll to the bottom so they can see where it looked that video up at.
All right. There you go. FBI arrests 12 judges in massive cartel bribery investigation. So that's the title right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. All right. I can go back to the front in case you want to ask some more questions. All right. Hold on. Well, hold on, Rod. Trying to get it back to the. Why ain't let me? It's not letting me do anything. It's like my shit is frozen.
It might be that might be the government telling us to shut the hell up. We said too much.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised because remember I told you I put your name inside the Google Trends in Israel, and they showed the Tel Aviv district, and that's where the district where the Mossad is at. Like I looked it up. I asked ChatGPT like, what is in that area, and yeah, I think I sent it to you one night. I
And I
believe.
remember me and you talking about it.
Yeah.
But
So
they had been Googling me in Tel Aviv.
Yep. So they watching most definitely. So I can't even get to the. It's not even letting me do anything. Wow, that's crazy. I guess I just go back to this presentation slide. But yeah, I guess I can get. I can get into some questions from here. One more question because it's not letting me pull it up the side by side stuff anymore. And Rod Hayes' Cash App is in the chat. Not in the chat, but it's in the at the bottom scrolling. the cash symbol, the sick ape. Okay. Let me see if about a question. So, um, somebody was asking, what is the as far as like gang stalking, and then yeah, why do you think Trump really wants Greenland? Let's go with that question.
It's not that Trump won't Greenland. They
Right.
gotta have it. They gotta give it back to us. Greenland is part of the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
Greenland don't belong to Norway, Finland, Denmark, or none of that. Norway is part of the tribal territory of what we call Turtle Island. And it's the same reason he was talking about the United States of Canada and the United States of Mexico, and we're going to take charge of both of them. It's not him that's going to do it. It's the tribal mothers that's going to do it.
Right.
He's just the conduit that they're using right now until Empress Weber assert her tribal right as executor, her executive privilege, what it's called. Once
Mm-hmm.
she exerts her executive privileges to give everything back to the tribal mothers in the public domain following the tribal oral tradition, she don't got to do nothing. He gonna follow suit because what comes next.
Mm. And I remember that green book you was telling me about by Gaddafi that really gives you the blueprint on how to run the government once you
That's
have
just
the
one.
fall of.
Um, you ever read Blueprint for Black Power by Dr. Amos Wilson?
Nope, I ain't read that one.
I mean, it's about 1,000 pages, but this is the truth. But telling us everything. Then we got people like Randall Robinson wrote The Debt. I think his name Randall Robinson. He wrote a book called The Debt, where America, oh Black America,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he's talking about from a reparations standpoint. I'm not coming from the standpoint of reparations. I believe that our birthright will override any potential they have to pay out reparations to a birthright, right, as a living heir,
Mm.
than to try to chase reparations because we are the heirs to the earth.
Right.
So if we heirs to the earth, what wealth comes with that?
Everything, every goddamn
All
thing.
of it.
Right.
Right. So, and if I want my cut, I got to make sure that I tell everybody who the correct Big Mama is at this time, not because I wanted to be, but because this is who they surrendered to. They surrendered it to her. And now she's exerting her claim in the public domain, and that's why I make sure that she do everything by the oral tradition and not get trapped in that paper chain. The paper
Mm-hmm.
chain is designed to keep you bogged down in paperwork and ineffective, but always giving you the possibility of a solution that never really comes.
Uh,
Because everybody that's been using the paperwork, they always end up being the ones with the most problems with the system.
Salute to Sauce Angels Records. Is Trump a black wizard?
Um, Trump is a parody. It's a character. The character's job is to be a buck dancing cracker like they used to have buck dancing niggas.
Damn. Now that you say it, I can't even unsee it now. That's crazy. He's kind of like a Obama for the black
On
people.
the exact opposite end of the spectrum.
Hmm.
So instead of putting a real ghetto nigga up there, you put a
Right.
pale guy that love ghetto niggas up there.
Wow. Hey,
And then
Donald
you
Trump
let the
reminds me
world
of.
call him racist. You let everybody call him racist. And all the time he paying for black people to eat on a daily basis, literally out of his pocket. Like not no people we know. Like he got little programs in New York where people go in and get fed for free. But we don't know about it, so we don't talk about it. And he not doing it for clout, so he don't brag about it.
Mm-hmm.
He not using it to get political eyes on his campaign. He can just fight with the issues at hand. He don't have to say, I've been doing this for you niggas, and I've been doing this for you niggas. He ain't got to do none of that.
Right.
All he got to do is our interest is on the table in D.C. Represent our interests, and we can use you. From the Doja Canning to the deployment of National Guard, you might not see the National Guard in your city. But if you got a city big enough to be seen on the map, they are within a 40-mile radius of your city. It's a National Guard contingent waiting to be deployed to your local area at a moment's notice.
Mm.
These judges, these administrative law judges that been giving these people these criminal sentences in violation of their constitutional rights. You administrate, you're not supposed to be locked up for a lawsuit.
Right.
Nobody's not supposed to sue you to be locked up. That's what they doing. Every criminal case in the state court is a lawsuit. And the state is not supposed to be a party to the lawsuit. But they always written as the plaintiff. The people of the state of Michigan versus Rod Hayes. I don't even know all the people in the state of Michigan. How am I going to confront my accuser and I don't know everybody?
Hey, Rod, is that your cash ape, the sick ape, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
About...
Take the THE off of it.
Okay. All right. Let me make sure I get that right.
I'm getting hungry now, big girl.
What you gonna eat?
I don't know. Probably go find me a chicken breast or something.
I heard that. Yeah, I've been me and my lady, we've been fasting. We've been trying to, we've been fasting. We've been doing a lot of juicing, trying to keep everything, copacetic. Trying to do, trying to be a lot more healthier. It's all types of shit going on.
My diet is 90% chicken and pasta or chicken and rice.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. And it says, would this still have happened if Kamala had won?
Kamala wasn't never going to win. Kamala wasn't going to never win. It wasn't possible for her to win.
It's like, it's so much that, like, we don't have enough time. But it's okay, right? Okay, so, like, this is my partner here. People think that that's my brother, but we just lovers, that's all. But, people, his don't laugh.
But that's the kindred spirits, though.
It is. It really is. Like his
that's
dad.
What they say they've been together so long they look alike now. It ain't that they've been together that long. It's just that they got kindred spirits. They two halves of the same motherfucking coin.
Pretty much. His dad, we went to a funeral, right? His dad literally thought I was his long lost daughter. I said, no, sir, I know my dad. He was like, oh, I just had to make sure. I was like, no, sir, his name is blah, 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 blah. He was like, oh, okay. But, we from Savannah, Georgia. We're both musicians.
We artists. We real rappers.
We real rappers. We spitting our own.
Revolution of African people. We real, like, soul, substance, medicine in the food with the medicine, like real rappers. And we got a story. We both from the trenches. She from one side of the trenches, I'm from the other side.
Okay, we gonna do this for the people that's watching. When y'all get done answering y'all question, we can all give a 16 for the fans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But okay. So going back to the question, so we don't get to, be all over the place. So okay, so one I wanted to say first, deep reverence, deep gratitude. My mom is a Scorpio. We Leos. Both of us is Leos. Like my descent, but I'm a descendant of a Scorpio though. My mom a real Scorpio. She introduced me. She put me on my path when I was 18. I'm 27 years old. Like she sent me my spiritual kit. I moved to Atlanta. She told me about my ancestors. She sent me a spiritual kit with sage, crystals, tarot cards, all that, and was like, figure it out. So that was my path.
Your mama high priestess.
Oh yeah,
Big
the
Scorpio.
biggest. Like the biggest.
Not the little one.
The biggest. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, go ahead, babe.
Oh yeah, so to bring it back though, so one of my like, you know, I just want to I want to brain bang with you because you know you be on here and you be dropping a lot. I want to rap and tap with you. You be dropping a lot of gems, a lot of game, and you know, like first I want to say I appreciate all our brothers and sisters, all our soul tribe members, all of the other angelic light beings, just you know, resonant souls that not only follow this creed, but you know, live by this creed, abide by this creed, abide by morality, love, togetherness, unity, you know, like you said, for the people, and the people is us, the melanin. So one was, you know, a couple months back when the whole thing was going on, and not to talk about nobody or anything like that, or getting nobody or no people business or not like that. I'm just mentioning you because you know you the chief, and because you you have the powers and the connections to interact with these people and so on and so forth. And so one thing was a couple months back with the whole situation with 607 Unc and B-Dell and phase one and all of them and stuff like that. And I wanted to say, just because me, like I watched the original live that 607 Unc did with B-Dell. And 607 Unc, like he remind me of SU. He remind me of one of my cousins. You see what I'm saying? Real SU. So like he was saying
Crazy Horse energy. That's when they using Chief Crazy Horse energy. They have to create perceptions where only the ones that can see past the facade can get the message.
Exactly. And I just wanted to say I feel you have that type of that balance to be able to bring the bridge both of the worlds, because 607 Unc was saying not only a lot of real things, but he really was trying to bring the worlds together. You dig what I'm saying? Because he's on the other side when it comes to the industry, celebrities, things like that. And when he had the opportunity to be on live with B-Dell first and all that, he really was trying to do that. And I think B-Dell at the moment just wasn't receiving it as that at first. You dig what I'm saying? And I just kind of want to bring that up because it was interesting, and I watched a video that you did with Ashe, the African spiritual experience, and you had kind of mentioned it a little bit. You was like, it seemed like it was a misunderstanding, and y'all laughed about it, type of thing. And so I just kind of want to bring it up because I was one of those people who actually caught the live in real time, and that whole live had broke the whole matrix. You dig what I'm saying? So that was
the intended purpose of it.
Exactly.
Okay, now let me give you a little background on that situation. Is B-Dell called me and said, and to talk to me right after, right after the first video, and I didn't see the video. I still haven't seen it, but he called me and he was telling me what happened, that he had some words for 607 Unc, and you know, I just told him what I saw in 607 Unc, and it said just step back and look and pay attention. And then next thing I know, they was doing another live. I was like, okay.
Tight. But that live had went left too. The second one had went super left. Yeah.
It's called gorilla knocking. You got to be able to hold your post, or Nick gonna knock your ass off your post.
Facts though. Facts.
Right. You gotta know, you know what I'm saying, when somebody is bumping against you, to show that you firm. See, we be taking everything personally. I don't take stuff personally, right? I let people, you either come over here and have a conversation with me, or you're going to leave me alone. I don't care what you say over there on your platform. That's not my platform.
Facts.
Right? I'm not going to come on your platform and tell you can't say Rod Hazel sucks. If you say that on your platform, cool. Don't tell me that to stay on mine.
Right.
Now, that being in mind, it's just like now, you know, we probably been going back and forth. Y'all missing my lives or whatever. But I'm here. I ain't ducking. I ain't hiding from nobody.
Facts. I know you ain't.
Now, I do got one thing on the floor that I haven't been able to answer yet, and that Brother Sanchez reached out to me, and I haven't had a chance to reach back because I was going through something. When he was reaching out, I was in the middle of a family crisis. Right? So, but he did reach out. So I can't say he ain't never reached out to me now. If I tell people that, I'll be making shit up.
Facts. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not finna make nothing up. I don't know him.